Happy Monday, YouTube. This is Ryan Knows Tech from TechInform.us, and we're going to go into some dangerous places here in this video. As the title would suggest, it has to do with the Mac and the PC. Which is best for which type of user? And obviously, it totally depends on what type of user you are, what type of budget you have, your personal preference, and what you're used to. All of these factors combined and in a really different mixture. It's like some sort of incredible science that nobody can figure out 100%. Hundreds of people have tried on YouTube to make a video that really tells you which way to go, and none of them work for everybody. I'm not going to try to do that because I can't, but I'm going to give you my take on it. So in this world, we have a Mac and we have a PC. Most people use PCs. Over 90% of the market is controlled by PC users, which is good and bad. I was a PC user from my date of birth all the way up until January the 13th, 2010. That's when I made my investment to buy a Mac. Wasn't 100% sure if I was going to like it. It's probably one of the top 10 best things I've ever done, top 5. It's for what I do, it is a better system. So with Apple, things are really easy. One company makes the hardware, one company makes the software. It's that simple. When you make the hardware, you know exactly how to make the software, talk to that hardware, have everything work, and get that best optimal performance. With Microsoft and HP and the hundreds of other PC manufacturers, you have hundreds of different PC hardware manufacturers, and you have one company, Microsoft, that makes that software. And that obviously makes it a lot harder for them. So, without making this video 9 hours long to encompass everything that it really should have, let's just talk about what kind of user you are. If you do basic stuff, you do email, you do YouTube, you do light gaming, heavy gaming, any gaming at all, you need a PC. Macs, come on guys, we know this. Macs are not good with gaming. You cannot, the spectrum of the Mac that you can design starts at relatively low end, the MacBook, and goes up to relatively high end for most users, the Mac Pro. With PCs, you can go much lower and you can go much higher. It's a much wider spectrum. And generally, to get the same price, to get the same performance and specifications that you do in a Mac, you can get that in a PC for a much lower price. You may lose build quality, you may lose battery life, things like that, connectivity maybe, but performance is much better in a PC. So why pay more to get less effectively in a Mac? Really, it comes down to build quality. Support is outstanding from that I've had. I have heard horror stories, but you're going to hear that anywhere. Really, the cons of buying a Mac, if they don't make one that is suitable for you in terms of price. I know that's a big deciding factor for some people. They are very expensive. Another factor is they're not all over the place. I know several places in Europe and obviously Africa and other continents and other countries, they just don't have Apple stores, so you don't have good support. And it's hard to get them, and they're more expensive, and iPads still haven't come out in some countries, and that obviously makes stuff more difficult. But it does on the PC side as well. So in terms of hardware, personally, I think Apple in general makes better hardware. You can go out and buy a PC that's better built than a Mac. Sure you can. But the average Mac and the average PC, Macs are just thinner. They're better built, better materials inside of them. And outside of them, the aluminum unibody. The only con with that is it's expensive. It's freezing if you're wearing short pants, so I hear. And it dents. I've seen lots of people that drop their MacBook Pro or the late 2008 MacBook or the Air. They maybe drop it on a desk, drop it on a hardwood floor, in a parking lot, on a carpeted floor for more than 2 feet, and you can get a big nasty dent in it. Of course, that's very hard to get out. So hardware, generally, the Mac usually takes that price. Performance. Macs are very fast. They use high-quality materials. They use high-quality products inside of them, Intel's Core i series. And they're just well-built and very well-engineered machines. But with performance, again, your PC, you just have a bigger range with PCs because there's so many more different companies and price ranges and everything for a PC. In the business world, a Mac wouldn't get you very far. It just doesn't have the market share, which is why there aren't as many viruses and hacks that work on it. And it just doesn't have the compatibility. And the reason it doesn't have the compatibility is not because Mac OS X is incompatible. It's just that it hasn't been around as long, and it's more expensive, and it's not as popular. It's only less than 10% of the market share right now. But it is actually, if you look at the stats, it's incredible how much it's inclining and how more than 50% of their sales there as an Apple, their sales are new Mac customers coming from the PC, which was what I was, my grandparents were, and my mom was, and my dad, if he wanted to spend that much money. So, not saying the Mac is better in every aspect, because it sure as hell isn't. Now, I've run Windows on the Mac. I obviously have run Windows on the PC and Linux, but that's terrible altogether. And Windows works really quite well on the PC. Haven't seen me hold a PC for a while, have you? I still have it. Still works. I don't use it very often, but it is here. And Mac runs Windows better than the PC. And I tell people this, and they say, no, that's impossible. It isn't. You install it, you put in your Apple disk, 2 minutes, all your drivers are there. It is so fast. This MacBook Pro, it's a mid-2010 or early 2010, 13-inch 2.6 gigahertz model with 8 gigs of RAM. It gets like a 6.1 on the Windows Experience Index. A comparable PC in terms of specs, of course, would get the same because it's a comparable PC and you're going to pay less for that. But stuff, it just works with Windows on here. Of course, it's Windows, which isn't my favorite for what I do. But back to the point of the video, which is better for what you do? Editing. Video editing on a Mac is so nice. It comes with iLife. That's pretty basic. You can get up into Final Cut. That is not really very basic at all, and it does a fantastic job there too. But guess what? PCs can edit. Microsoft figured out how to make this thing edit. And guess what? It does everything a Mac does, guys. A Mac is not 500 times better than a PC. It's only about 100 times better than a PC. No. But back to the editing point. I'm going off on tangents all over the place here. But back to the editing point, I prefer a Mac for editing. That was my purpose of buying one. The graphics power in the Mac laptops are better than most graphics processors in PCs. You can get PCs with better graphics processors. And the big kicker is really the software. I tend to dislike PC software. With Mac OS X, everything's uniform. Every application has a bar of menus up here. That just makes stuff easy, doesn't it? It just makes stuff easy to have everything up there. Where with PC, sometimes you have stuff up there, maybe stuff on the side, on the bottom. OS X just seems really well organized. You have your important stuff on the top that changes based on what application you're open. Your dock is on the bottom. That's where you can keep some folders and your information. And everything else would be located on the hard drive by opening Finder and going to Macintosh HD. And this is not OS 10.6.5 versus Windows 7. This is just the general Mac interface and the general PC interface, of course, depending on hardware and software configurations. So for editing, I prefer a Mac. For business, I would definitely go get another IBM Lenovo ThinkPad or the ThinkPad Edge. The IdeaPad is a great media machine. And then back into the media world, I think the colors on the screen, the backlit keyboard, the feel of the keyboard, the trackpad, the big glass display, the iSight camera, everything is just engineered and put together so well on the Mac. Whereas I pick up this PC. Granted, this PC is 2 years older than the Mac, but new PCs, when I was at Best Buy over the weekend, not Black Friday, I was looking at the PCs, and they just still have so much flex in them. Even the higher-end HP Envies and stuff like that. You push on the keyboard, and the whole thing sags down a little bit. The screen has about an inch of play in it. The webcams have gotten better, but they're still not what I would call good. The speakers aren't really quite good. The battery life. Find me a PC that gets 10 hours of battery life, guys. I mean, I'm just talking here. Apple actually cares about the customer. And I'm not saying Microsoft doesn't, because they do, but most PC manufacturers don't, like Acer. Acer supports the worst I've ever dealt with, along with their hardware, eMachine and Toshiba, and they just seem to build thick, clunky garbage that nobody wants. But then again, they're budget machines. So these are my thoughts, okay? Take them to mean as you wish. If you don't like it, then fine. Go find another video. I should have probably told you that more than 10 minutes into this stupid video. But that's my take. This was a request video if you hadn't figured that out by now. Usually I don't even touch this because I'm going to get all kinds of hate comments. But to sum everything up, you like Macs, you like playing with video and editing and photos and fun stuff, usually. And it can do business. I run a website, the part that I run off a Mac, and I've never really had any use to go back to Windows. But if I started working in a software IT enterprise business, I'd go back and buy a PC and keep my Mac at home and take the PC to work, or install Windows on the Mac and take the Mac to work. So, my thoughts. Hope I didn't offend too many people with this video. I did want to mention, it has been so long since I've looked at Lenovo and Dell and HP. Some of the products that they've come out with and the specifications that I'm starting to see, I'm impressed. I'm not saying that I don't feel that they can make stuff, because they obviously can, but Their site's been redone since the last time I was here. Stuff seems to be better organized. I'm really glad that they're starting to step up and make a little bit classier websites here. I've never really been a big fan of Dell, but it looks like they do have some good deals. So, you know, don't ask me what's right for you because I don't know you. If you like editing, go try a Mac out for size. Go to Best Buy, play with it, see if you like it. And then most people don't even need a Mac for editing. Most basic editing can be done in Camtasia or stuff like that on the PC. So this video is way too long. I'm going to go now. Check out our site. It's techinform.us. We've got a little Christmas theme going on here. Leave a comment. What do you like? What do you think? A couple new posts. If you didn't see yesterday's video, please check that out. I did actually make one on Sunday yesterday, so check that out. I'll try to put a big link over this whole thing at the end if I can remember. Leave a comment if I don't. But again, check that out. We're up now. You can sign up, but you have to follow the links that I gave in yesterday's video. So thanks for watching this one and putting up with me. Check out our site, techinform.us. My Twitter is twitter.com/JamesRSchultz. And then catch me live tomorrow night. We can talk more about this or anything I've made in the past 5 years on ustream.tv/user/techinformus. That's 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow night. So I'll see you guys there or in tomorrow's video. Subscribe on the way out.